Cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, here's the interesting thing about that. You need to understand that thoughts create feelings, okay? And feelings then create behaviors. And then those behaviors reinforce those thoughts. This is the basis of cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm going to give you an example here in just a minute, but what we need to understand and what research has uncovered is that many people with difficulty sleeping develop difficulty sleeping because they are having negative thoughts and feelings around sleep. Isn't that interesting? So let's say you have a time in college where you have to stay up 3 days in a row to get ready for exams. You get through with your exams, and then the fourth day, fifth day, you still don't sleep. And the sixth day, seventh day, you're starting to see that you can't sleep that well. Something has changed. And now all of a sudden you start getting anxious every single time you go to sleep. And that just makes the problem worse. And because of that, you start changing your behaviors, taking long naps or doing other things that then cause you to have a more difficult time sleeping. So here's the example. Let's say you can't sleep. So you get anxious because you can't sleep. And you start thinking, oh my God, it's getting nighttime, I can't sleep. And that anxiety over sleep makes you nap more or makes you take certain medications that then make you not sleep that deeply. A lot of people don't know this, but sleep medications especially, they help you get a very light sleep but not deep sleep. And then that creates a vicious cycle where you get nervous about sleep. And so we need to break this cycle. Here's the way it's done. You need to be thinking about the idea that all this stuff that you've convinced yourself in your mind, that if you don't sleep, it's going to kill you. And if you don't sleep, it's going to be miserable. And if you don't sleep, your cardiovascular disease risk is going to go up. And all these things. You have to start thinking that my feelings about sleep are maybe what's keeping me from kicking my sleep drive in and getting good sleep. And so instead of stressing about it, you say, no big deal. I'll use the opportunity to do something else. And so you get out of bed and you go do something non-stimulating that is productive for you. You don't emotionally react. You don't take any extreme measures. And because of that, you begin to take advantage of the body's sleep drive. And it begins to kick in. And because of that, now you can sleep. And what this does is reinforce to you that, okay, I just figured out that when I can't sleep, I just say, no big deal, and I do something else. I don't react to it. I don't take any extreme measures. And eventually my body will get me back to sleep. And when I can't sleep again, I know it's just fine. And I'll use these skills and I'll build this into my lifestyle. Instead of thinking about how stressful it is, instead of wondering about all the damage you're doing, think about this in a different way. Think about Thomas Edison when you get into this situation. Thomas Edison was one of the most prolific, one of the most famous inventors in the world. For those who don't know, Thomas Edison gets the credit for inventing the light bulb plus a ton of other things. And he was a notorious poor sleeper. Maybe somewhat ironic, right, that he was working on the light bulb. But what ends up happening here, and what you want to think about, is Thomas Edison lived to a ripe old age and did not, and did amazing things. And so you can switch your mindset around, and this cognitive behavioral therapy, changing the way you think about sleep, is probably the most powerful thing that you can do.